in 367 AD. Bishop Athanasius was burning every Gnostic text he could find across the Roman Empire. But there was one teaching he hunted more aggressively than any other. Not the cosmology about creation, not the theology about divine nature, but a three-word phrase that chosen ones were speaking aloud during demonic attack that collapsed the assault instantly. Church records describe it as the words that make demons flee without exorcism, without priests, without elaborate ritual or ceremony. And Athanasius knew if Christians discovered they could speak three words and end spiritual oppression immediately, his entire institution of power structure would become irrelevant overnight. The phrase survived in fragments hidden in the Gospel of Thomas, encoded in the secret book of John, whispered through underground Gnostic lineages that went into hiding, and it works exactly the way the church feared it would. The moment you speak these three words aloud during Archon attack, not pray them silently, not think them internally, but speak them with your voice, the attack collapses, not gradually over time, but instantly in that moment, because these words don't fight the Archons or battle against them. They remove the entire operating system their attack runs on. Tonight, you're learning the three words, why only chosen ones can activate them, and how to recognize the exact moment you're under attack. The three words are light and stillness. These aren't just words you say casually. They're a declaration that shatters the Archon's entire operational framework at its foundation. Archons exist through separation consciousness. They experience themselves as cut off from source, exiled from the monad, operating independently in hostile territory. That separation is their identity. It's how they function. It's the frequency they need you to broadcast so they can attach to you and harvest your energy. But when you speak light and stillness, you're declaring something they cannot process or comprehend. Light means consciousness, creating, expressing, radiating outward. Stillness means consciousness, resting, observing, simply being. And the word in between them is the actual weapon, because it means both simultaneously existing together. Not either or not light or darkness, not peace or chaos, not safe or threatened, but both unified as one. The instant those words leave your mouth with intention, you stop broadcasting separation frequency. You're declaring unity, consciousness, and entities that exist through division cannot maintain coherence in the presence of unified consciousness. It's like running software designed for separation on hardware broadcasting wholeness. The program crashes immediately and the entity collapses. Here's what separates you from someone who doesn't carry the divine spark inside them. A hyletic person can say light and stillness 1,000 times and feel absolutely nothing. No resonance, no shift in their field, just empty sounds leaving their mouth. But you, when you speak these words with awareness, something in you responds immediately at a cellular level. Your spark recognizes what those words point to in consciousness. You're not pretending to be light and stillness, or aspiring to become them. You're remembering you are light and stillness, temporarily experiencing yourself as a limited human form. And that remembering creates a frequency broadcast the Archons cannot withstand or remain near. They know this truth about you. They know these words only work for the ones carrying monad consciousness. That's why they don't suppress the words themselves in the world. They suppress the teaching about when and how to use them effectively. Most chosen ones go their entire lives never discovering they have a verbal weapon that ends attacks instantly with 3 spoken words. So they endure assault after assault after assault, thinking spiritual warfare is supposed to be prolonged suffering and endurance. Jesus taught his inner circle completely differently. When you're under attack, you don't endure the pain. You speak the words, and the attack ends immediately. Most chosen ones live under constant Archon interference and never realize what's actually happening to them. You've been conditioned to accept the symptoms as normal human experience. The anxiety is just modern life. The exhaustion is just stress. The intrusive thoughts are just how your mind naturally works. But these aren't random human experiences at all. These are attack signatures. And once you know what to look for, you'll see how often you're actually being targeted. Thoughts appear that don't sound like you at all. Your natural thinking has a rhythm, a tone, a quality that's distinctly yours. But attack thoughts are different, harsher, more absolute, more catastrophic. You're going to fail. Everyone sees through you. Something terrible is coming. You're not chosen. You're delusional. Notice how final these thoughts are, how devoid of hope or nuance. That's not your divine spark thinking. That's an entity broadcasting directly into your awareness, hoping you'll accept it as your own voice and generate the fear frequency they're harvesting. Emotions erupt from nowhere with no trigger you can identify. You're fine, completely stable, and then within seconds you're drowning in anxiety, consumed by rage, crushed by despair, and you cannot pinpoint what caused it. When you recognize attack signs appearing, don't rush or panic about what's happening. Stop what you're doing. Take one full breath to center yourself, and then speak with complete presence and intention. Say it like this: light and stillness. Pause between the words intentionally. Let each one land in your awareness before speaking the next. Light. You feel yourself as radiance, as consciousness expressing itself. The first word lands like recognition opening in your chest, and you're declaring unity, both and instead of either or. The bridge feels like something clicking into place. Stillness. You feel yourself as infinite peace, as source resting. The second word lands like coming home to yourself. You're not begging for protection from something outside you. You're stating what you are at your core. And that statement carries authority nothing operating in separation consciousness can challenge. The attack collapses the moment you speak. You feel it immediately in your field. The silence, the release, the clarity returning. But speak the words a second time, right after the first. Not because the first failed at all. The first collapsed the active attack happening now. The second seals your field and establishes protective frequency that makes reattachment difficult for hours afterward. When you deploy this for the first time during an actual attack, you'll notice silence. Internal silence so complete, you'll wonder if something broke inside your consciousness. The mental chatter that's been running constantly. The anxious loops. The fearful scenarios. The harsh self-criticism. It cuts out like someone severed the power cord. Because they did, the entity generating those thoughts through your field just lost coherence and fled your space. What you thought was your mind racing is suddenly quiet. And in that quiet, you'll realize how much noise wasn't actually yours at all. Your body will exhale without you consciously telling it to. Tension you've been carrying for days will release completely. Your jaw unclenches. Your shoulders drop. Your chest opens. That compression you were living under, the feeling of being crushed by invisible weight, it lifts instantly, because that weight was real. Etheric pressure. The Archon's presence in your field, creating that sensation of being squeezed. When they leave, the pressure vanishes instantly, and your nervous system knows immediately that the threat is gone. Then clarity returns like a light switching on in darkness. Whatever was confusing you becomes obvious. The decision you couldn't make resolves itself. The situation you couldn't see clearly snaps into focus. If the assault is severe, if you've been targeted for days, if the interference is overwhelming, if you sense multiple entities present, speak the words 3 times instead of 2. First utterance collapses the active attack happening now. Second utterance seals your field against reaction. Third utterance establishes what the ancient Gnostics called offensive frequency. You're not just protected defensively. You're broadcasting at a level that makes Archons reluctant to attempt another attack on you for days or even weeks. You become energetically expensive to target, and they redirect to easier targets instead. You can deploy preemptively before entering hostile territory, hostile people, location, or situation. Speak the words before you enter that space. You're establishing the frequency in advance. Any attack attempt encounters unity consciousness immediately, instead of having to wait for reactive deployment after they've already attached. This is devastating when used before sleep if you're being attacked in dreams. Before important events where interference is likely, before any spiritual practice where you need guaranteed clarity, and you can speak the words for others around you. If someone near you is clearly under attack, displaying sudden irrational rage, induced fear, obvious confusion, speak light and stillness aloud in their presence. The Archons are trying to make you doubt this will work before you even try deploying it. That skeptical voice, saying 3 words can't possibly do anything real, isn't wisdom or discernment. That's interference. They need you to not deploy this because they know better than you do right now exactly how effective this is. They've experienced it countless times. They've fled from it. And they're terrified of the moment you discover you've been carrying this weapon your entire life and never knew it existed. Jesus revealed 3 words. The collapse Archon attacks instantly. Light and stillness. Not protection ritual, not visualization, not lengthy prayers. 3 words you speak aloud the moment you recognize attack signatures, and only chosen ones can activate them. Because only you carry the spark that resonates with what those words declare about your true nature. The signs of thoughts that don't sound like you, emotions from nowhere, energy drained with no cause, decision paralysis, disruption when you're about to activate spiritually. The instant you notice any of these signatures, you speak. Once to collapse the attack, twice to seal your field, 3 times to establish a fence of frequency that makes you untouchable. If you're deploying the words tonight, comment Light and Stillness below right now. Subscribe to Divine Codes for advanced spiritual warfare techniques. Like this video to help other chosen ones discover this weapon. Do all 3, despite any resistance you feel.